Hello, welcome to another video for playing solo D&D as an RPG on Roll20. So, my name is Wisdom Hunter. Let's go ahead and get started on this. And this particular video is going to be about the Oracle, my advanced Oracle. So what is an Oracle? Whenever you play D&D or an RPG alone as a solo game, there's certain things that you want to discover about the world that you're traveling through. So you ask the Oracle. And normally you ask a yes or no question, and you roll some dice and it gives you an answer, yes, no. For example, you could say, is there a castle on the other side of this mountain? Roll your dice and it'll come back yes or no. And so you build that into your story. But the Oracle can really help you develop so much more information so that it really becomes extremely useful to have an advanced Oracle. So it's an answer that just doesn't come back yes or no, or something like, yeah, that's likely, or maybe. It gives you something that you can really build upon. So I'm going to show you how I do this. And I'm going to show you the macro that I use in Roll20 to do my Oracle. So I'm going to give you some examples on how this works. All right, let's take a look. Okay, here we are in my Roll20. And we can see my macro here for the Oracle. But it's basically you're going to whisper to the GM. And here's the macro that I use for a default template. Name it the Oracle answer. And then it's going to start off, well, you can see an example over here as how it's going to come out. The Q&A, the question answer, is going to come out, for example, in this case up here, no, ever since somebody. You can already see you get a yes or no answer. But then there's going to be this other information that starts to come in. Ever since. So I put in all these conjunctions. So I have this rollable table for different conjunctions that work. Ever since is one of the conjunctions that goes ahead, and I insert that in there randomly. So it goes no, ever since, and then I put in some other words like somebody, something, somewhere, somehow. And I put those random words in there, and it builds this answer to say no, ever since somebody, and then you have to come up with this answer. Now, in some oracles that I've seen, like the one from The Adventurer's Toolbox by Paul Bimler, which I love, by the way. In his part 2, in his second edition for that book, he comes out with, I just saw this past week, he comes out with an oracle that gives back an answer of something like no, but. So he's adding in one conjunction, but. So yes, but, no, but, or yes, no. And so he's gotten to that point where now he's adding a one conjunction to that, but he doesn't give anything more. He just says, well, if you need more information, just go to some tables. Just go to those. He has some tables in his book where he has like 400 different verbs and adjectives, nouns that you can throw in to kind of get an idea. But now this, I'm going to have in my macro for this Oracle, all of the rollable tables to be able to create a really, really developed answer. So I'll show you how to do this. My Oracle at this point in time has 900 words. I plan to add some more words and take it up over 1,000, maybe around 1,200. But I'm going to get a big reservoir of words that I'm going to be using to go ahead and fill in my answers when I ask these questions. Okay. You ask a question, comes back yes or no, and then it gives you a conjunction, and then it gives something, somebody, someplace, some. And then it also gives you this chance to change it to a yes or no. So sometimes it's more likely that the answer is no, or it's more likely that the answer is yes. So you'll see that in this part here of the macro. Let me go ahead and highlight that up for you. So is it likely or unlikely? And to change to, and then there's this prompt in the macro to more yes or no, or neither yes or no. You roll a 1d8 against a DC. So you're going to roll this D8 against a DC, which will range from a DC 2 to a DC 9. So since you're rolling a D8, If you have a DC 9, it's never going to be able to change. But the idea of this is that if you want the answer to be more yes, and the answer comes out no, give it a DC that if you beat that DC with this automatic roll of a D8, if you beat that DC, you'll be able to change the answer. And then at the end here, you'll see that this third part of the macro simply puts in random words. So it goes to that table of 900 words and chooses 4 words. So I just put it in there 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's randomly choosing from that list of 900 words 4 times. So you use over here, this is the structure of the whole answer. So let me show you. I'll show you my rollable tables. First, there's the oracle one, there's the conjunction one, and then there's the qualifiers. Here we'll start with the oracle rollable table. The answers that come out will be no, yes, seems unlikely, seems likely, no, definitely, yes, definitely. There'll be a 7 for no, there'll be a 7 for yes, and seems unlikely, that'll be 2. So all these numbers will add up to 20. So see, a 7 plus 2 plus 2 gets you up to 18. So no, definitely will be a 1, yes, definitely will be another 1. So that gives you an idea of the odds for getting a no, yes, seems unlikely, seems likely. So that's the oracle rollable table. Now I'll show you the conjunctions. I put in however, until, although, even though, but, since. No, but, because, so that, if, provided that, assuming that, unless, ever since. So these are the different qualifications for conjunctions that I put in to these answers. They come out at random, and that one comes out at 1, because comes out at 1. They're all evenly weighted, so they all get a 1. And then the qualifications. And these will be like someone, somewhere, somehow, sometimes, sometime, something, somebody, someplace. And someone comes out as 1, someplace comes out as 1, sometimes comes out as 1, something comes out as 2, somewhere comes out as 1, somehow comes out as 2, somebody comes out as 1. So you can see there's different ways to weight these so that you get, some of them are more common than the others. So so those are the rollable tables that form that yes-no question with the conjunction and the qualifier. Now here I'll show you the list of random words. There's actually 900 in here right now. As you can see over here, random words has 900 entries. So you just go down this list, and I'm going to be adding a lot more. Stop right here. Help, hinder, ignite. Go down some more. Secret, sneak, illusion. Scroll, music, prodigy. Just goes all the way down. And there's 900 words that will randomly be selected one at a time. I think that's it. Now we'll go ahead and run a few tests on this. Let's ask a yes/no question. Let's say you're wanting to go across a mountain pass, and you see one pass that goes over the mountains, but you want to know if maybe there's another pass, another way to get through those mountains, that maybe this particular way may be too dangerous. Maybe there's an enemy setting up camp right there, and you don't want to go through that area of the mountain. You'd like to go around the mountain another way, so you want to know if there's another pass. So you ask the oracle, is there another pass to get over this mountain or through this mountain range? So let's go ahead and do a test macro. So now you ask yourself, is this, let me bring this over here so you can compare what's going on to the macro. So is it more of a yes or no? Is it more likely that there would be another pass? And you might think yes, it would be more likely. So let's say it's more yes. You really want a good chance that there's probably another pass. So let's say there's yes. And now you're going to set this DC up, where you're going to roll a D8 versus a DC from 2 to 9. So if you set that DC really high, it's going to be harder to change a no answer to a yes. So you want it to be more likely yes, so you want that any no answer to be changed to a yes, but with improbability. So let's just give it a 5. So we're going to say a DC 5. If you roll that D8 and it rolls a 5, 6, 7, or an 8, those 4 numbers was a 50-50 chance, 50% chance of changing a no answer to yes. We submit. So let's read the answer right now. We've asked the question, is there another pass through this mountain range? Seems unlikely. That's kind of a no answer. So we look down here, is it likely or unlikely? Well, to change it to yes, like to seems likely, you would have to roll, whatever you rolled would have to be greater than the DC 5. And it was actually less. We rolled a 1. So no, you can't change this answer from a no to a yes. So you have to go with what it says. So it seems unlikely until someone, so we're building this answer here. So it seems unlikely that there's another pass until someone maybe finds it, or until someone explores a certain part of the mountains, or until someone like the players tries to find it, whatever. But right now it seems unlikely that there's another pass through this mountain range. So you can look down here at the random words and find something that maybe can help you develop this answer. So let's try, seems unlikely until someone kills or dispels some enemy or some monster in this other pass. So there's maybe a certain part of this mountain range, we could say, that's being protected or lived in by a certain monster. And until somebody kills that or dispels that monster, gets rid of it, then that pass will open up. But at the moment, it seems unlikely that there's another pass that can actually be used to get to the other side of the mountain. For all intensive purposes, that path is closed. It seems unlikely. But there is a chance that there's still a pass there, but it's unlikely until someone, let's say in this case, dispels or kills something in that area. So you can see how this oracle answer is more advanced. And that's what I use in my games. Let's give it another shot. Let's say you're in battle, and you're in the battle with the big bad. And you want to know something about this big bad. So you ask a question. So you ask the question, is it possible to negotiate with this big bad? Okay, so let's go ahead and test out the macro and see what happens. So it's probably less likely, we'll say it's more unlikely, it's more of a no answer that you wouldn't be able to negotiate. But we'll see. So we'll give it a roughly high DC. We'll give it a 6. So you'll have to roll a 6, 7, or 8 in order to change a yes answer to no. So that gives no. There's more probability that the answer is going to come back no. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's see what it says. No. But first, likelier to change to no. Okay, it's already no. So the answer comes back no. Definitely. So it's impossible to negotiate with this big bad. The answer is coming back. However, sometimes, so it's no, definitely. However, sometimes, now let's find out where that sometimes is going here. Maybe we have to do something in order to be able to negotiate with this big bad. So, book, obscure, travel, gamble. Let's go with gamble. So, we cannot definitely negotiate with this big bad. However, sometimes if you gamble with this big bad, you'll be able to set up a deal. Sounds like we're doing a deal with the devil here, doesn't it? So that, can I negotiate with this devil? No, definitely. However, sometimes if you want to gamble your life away, yeah, you can make a gambling deal and see how it goes. So you see how this oracle answer is more advanced. So definitely not. You can't do it. However, then it steers you to that one way that you'd be able to negotiate with this big bad. You've got to gamble your life away. You've got to gamble something really important and then see what happens. See if you can come to an agreement. So this answer really steers you clearly in a way that's going to make sense in the story. And then if you need more random words because you don't find anything in these 4 random words, just roll another macro to pull out 4 more random words from your list of 900 or how many words you have. And then keep looking for a word that's going to make sense to the answer that this oracle gives you. So the oracle gives you an answer that allows you to keep moving and developing your understanding of the story so that the story develops. But you don't want to sit there and create all the story yourself, so the oracle gives you answers to move you along. Okay, I think that's enough on this video. This is Wisdom Hunter signing out. And remember, whoever has the most fun wins.